I know I can remember it was a family reunion or something we had in McGee, and I brought my kids around my dad, and it's just me being a dad and just out there spending time playing, feeding them, picking them up, holding the littlest baby, and I can just see a smile on his face, like, dang, like I'm really proud of him, like, because I'm thinking I might be wrong, but I'm thinking it's like I wish I could have did him like this. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he moved away, and it was just my granddad, and then my grandma, then my granny. So,
So that kind of answers the question that I was going to lead into then. The relationship with your own father, how did that affect how you raise your own kids?
I was going to say that I was like, at one point, until me and him had the conversation, everything I did to be better than him.
Always.
Sports and everything.
always.
Like, the only accolade I didn't top for him in sports was getting more tackles than him in the game. Like, I made it my personal vendetta to be better than you, because you don't see me, I'm going to make you see me. And then I'm going to be like, fuck you on top of it.
Yeah.
But, like I said, until we had the conversation, and I understood more, that's how I did. I wanted to make sure my kids were straight. You didn't make sure I was straight. At least I felt like you didn't make sure I was straight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure they can't go without.
Well, that's good that you guys didn't turn out like some other dads. Like, my dad wasn't there for me, so yada yada yada. I didn't have this. At least I do more for you than my daddy did. My daddy got that type of mindset. He don't give a damn. I'm just gonna keep it a bug. And then when you say, like, we were talking earlier, and I say we'll spin back on it. The presence. Your dad is working. A man is always deemed as like the provider. Okay, I got to go out here. I got to earn. I got to do this. I got to do that. Your kids don't give a damn about that. I don't care about, man. My mama used to go pick up. Now I'm a little scarred. My mama used to go pick up them sweats. Y'all remember them sweats they used to have in Walmart? The top and the bottom, the matching. I had a whole bunch of them mugs.
I used to do that too.
And you as a kid, you only know what you know. I don't care about all that nice stuff. I wanted a present dad. My dad was a coach. He never coached me not 1 second, not one day in my life.
Damn.
But he was a coach. You coaching everybody else's kids. I had the kind of same mindset that you had. And then as I got older, like, that made me really sour. I remember being on homecoming court, and I was the honor maid. And my dad, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Tell them what's going on now.
Hey, I gotta get to E. I gotta get to E. She know how to put it on. She gotta put it on now.
You hear me? If they look, they were took. On a serious tip, though. I remember being on the homecoming court, and this was that's a big thing.
Yeah.
It is.
At the football game, say it again?
Especially where we from.
Yeah, where we from, that's a really big thing. Yeah. So I was on the court. The thing that was about the girls is during the school day. At the very end, they would let everybody out, and then the football players would walk us out, and they would sit us down in the court and stuff, on the court and stuff. So my dad had the nerve to tell me, my dad had done this several times in my life, and I'm going to make it quick. He would tell me, like, oh, I got to work, I'm not going to be at that. But everybody else's dad is here. So I remember, I might be making this up, but I think Stout stood in for me to make sure that I had some man help as they were setting up, all the dads were setting up stuff. My mama I ain't even have my mama up here doing this. This is all the men are here. That was kind of, that hurt me that he didn't show up for that. And then he showed up to walk me that night. You want to be here with the whole town here? Hell no.
Yeah.
My auntie had my cousin to walk me, and I'll never forget that. She paid for the dress. He ain't chip in for none of that, so I was straight on him. I'll stop answering the phone because, I get the beef.
Yeah,
so
could beef hard.
Don't beef hard.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Don't you? It could go beef. Don't care.
I don't talk to you either.
It ain't.
I know. We ain't talking about what? 7 months.
I didn't give a damn.
I was about to say, when I finish your watch, I don't give a fuck. I promise you don't. And then if you see her, she gonna act like she don't see you.
Don't do that. I need to work on that. My heart went right back in the day. I'm working on that. But as I say that too, my dad also, I graduated from law school. Now I have a master's. It ain't a JD. I ain't pretending like I, got that. But my dad didn't show up. He didn't come. And my dad told me he had to work. Hey, none of your other kids got no degrees. No shade to my siblings. But that was a big deal for me.
That's a big deal, man.
That was a major deal for me. I drove down there. He didn't help take me to school. The joker didn't send me no money. None of that. So I'm getting back to what you said too, as I want to throw a little snippet in there, Mike's dad showed up for me.
Yeah.
He flew out there. He paid for the dinner afterwards. My mom, Ty, Sky, you couldn't make it. Something happened with your work stuff. You couldn't make
Don't
it.
get me started. I'm still mad about it.
A couple other friends, like we all went out to eat. And Pastor Mike paid for everything. So I know a man, my dad is very financially capable. A man can make this happen. He showed up for me a lot in my life more than my dad did. So that made me a little sour. You know, like the growing with them as they go through that, all that. Fuck all that. I don't care about that. My little sister, he show up all the time.
As a man, it'll mess with my pride if I knew somebody else came through for my kids more than I did. You know what I'm saying?
That'll bother me, man.
See, that's different. That'll
bother
Don't
me.
care.
I don't want no nigga doing for my kids.
Yeah.
And I can do.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, y'all are different dads too, you know. That's why the original question was, how do you deal with how you are as a dad compared to the relationship that you have with your father? I think you guys have done an amazing job, or obviously you wouldn't be on the pod.
Well, like I said, man, it's about the breaking the cycle, man. You just want to be better, you know.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's like, it's literally what they didn't do. That's what I want to do.
And show them what they should have done.
Yeah.
Shit, really like a slap in the face.
Right. It should have been like this.
Yeah.
Which is agreed. I think I've showed it the same way. My little sister just moved. I know you're trying to say something. I'm sorry. My little sister just moved into she's going to Henderson State. So we just moved her in. My mom, the pod don't know this. A lot has been going on in my life recently. We ain't been doing podcasts. My mom has been sick on and off. She just got out of hospital earlier this week. And I was dealing with all of that. You know, it was a real medical emergency. She could have not made it. Thank God, you know, God pulled her through. She's doing fine now. But I could have like said, oh, I'm busy with my mom. I'm not going to go show up for my sister. And I literally the same thing and say, I'm going to do better than you and show you what it looks like. And then if you, as I do it, me and my nephews went and helped my dad move my sister into the dorm, and he was all grateful and thankful. But I really showed up for my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm showing you that you can do more than one thing at a time. You can multitask for the things that you care about.
Yeah.
You know,
that's good. You said something right there.
Yeah. The things that you care about, you can show up for.
I gotta take accountability on that. I agree with you. I'll be sitting there telling some folks, oh yeah, I can multitask, I can do this and that. But some folks, no, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah. I care about part.
I agree with you.
The care about part is spot on.